Hello, this is my video on my belief map. Alright, so I'm going to try and figure out a way to do this. So what I decided to work on as my overall belief that I'm going to be taking into life with me is this view of a subjective worldview. I think that's pretty important because we kind of, I think, tend to kind of force things into a more objective view, and that takes away a lot of the sanctity of humanity and of relationship and experience. And so I really think that that's going to be an important part of my life, is kind of keeping things as maybe being more involved with emotion and experience and things like that, instead of just always trying to be somewhat removed, in some way. So first I wrote about relationships. And how a subjective worldview would affect relationships is, you can see I wrote down here, I said, treat people as beings, not just objects. And so I think that that's important because in the past I've maybe tended to view people, especially younger people, like if I'm in a position of hierarchy or something like that, view people as maybe just a way for me to get ahead, and that's an awful thing to admit. But so this is trying to remove myself from that and see that each person has their own innate ability and special nature that is given to them, that is they're born with, because they're a creation of God. And I found this quote by C.S. Lewis. It says, "I have never met a mere mortal." I think that's a really strong quote to kind of tie in this view that people are sacred, and their experiences are sacred. And so never just to never try and tell someone that their experience is invalid or anything like that, to always validate people, always affirm people. I think that's going to be a really important part of my life, and just my character in itself. The second thing I talked about was vocation. So I don't know why I wrote that. I don't know what that says. I wanted my vocation to be allowed to unfold. Search it out. There we go. Okay, so first I want to be able to search it out. So whatever I'm passionate about, I want to be able to know that and take specific steps so that I can achieve what I feel is necessary in achieving a specific vocational duty for myself in my lifetime. But I also want to allow it to unfold. That's the second point I wrote here, is because I think that maybe searching it out can objectify it in some way, and that's not innately bad, but I think that when I take it too far, when it's taken to the farthest extent or the next level, it's just viewed as a next stepping stone to take in order to achieve whatever it is, and I don't want to view it as that. I want my vocation to be something that I'm passionate about, be something that I feel like achieving because I feel like it's furthering the kingdom of God. I feel like it's furthering myself as a person, allowing me to experience new things and things that I feel are ultimately going to bring me to a place of closer relationship with God. So yeah, I want to search those things out, but I ultimately want to allow them to unfold instead of just trying to force them to happen. But I also want to learn to be content, because sometimes vocations don't come along right away. So I want to be able to search it out, but I also want to learn, like, okay, this is just the spot I'm in life. There's not any open doors for me, and I'm not going to be able to achieve that specific vocation or job quite yet, and so I need to be content with where I'm at and just allow my experiences to unfold, and not try and withhold any experiences from myself while I'm in this place in life. The next thing I talked about is faith in church. A subjective worldview. I can see that I'm getting close on time. Faith in church. To take time and sit with God. Objectifying God would obviously just be viewing God as a food dispenser, or whatever, or just a money dispenser. And I don't want to do that, so I want to work on my relationship first and foremost. Treat church as its own entity, to not try and force my relationships from other places or my ideas of what it should be onto it. I've moved churches in the past couple months, and I don't want to take my experiences from my last church and try and force them onto my new church in a place of authority or something like that. So just saying, oh, because I did it this way at this church, I need to do it this way at the same, or at my next church. Just allowing them to create their own life and have their own distinct characteristics because of the community that's within them. And then finances. Expect God to be the ultimate sustainer. I know that I have the ability to create or to make money, but ultimately what's going to sustain me is God's, my relationship with God and God's place in my life. And then treat money as a way to do my job better and not as a reason to do my job in the first place. I don't want to be saying, well, I'm in ministry because it pays well, because it doesn't. But I want to be focused on doing ministry and getting paid to do that so that I can continue to do that, so I can sustain myself and my family, and create a good environment within my own family so that I'm able to continue doing that in the future. With health, I said take time to stay still, to allow my relationship with God to unfold and things like that. But I also want to take time to move and take action, because that's you don't get healthy from just sitting around all the time. And I think I can do that sometimes. I just say, well, I'm just going to take some time and relax, and I might do that too often, and it's action that a lot of time leads us to God as well. And then the last thing I said is loving myself under health. I think it's right here. Yeah. I need to love myself in the first place to even care about taking care of myself in the first place. So that's it, and thanks for watching, and I hope I was articulate enough, and yeah.